What everybody talked about when we were in the playoffs last year of, we really didn't have much experience at all playing in playoff games. I don't know what the exact number was, but we really lacked in that area.
Indiana had a solid run last season, no doubt about it. But let's be real, Caitlin wasn't wrong with what she said. Credit where it's due, the Fever fought their way back into the playoffs after an 8-year drought. But when they finally got there, the Connecticut Sun didn't just beat them, they absolutely dismantled them. A brutal 24-point blowout served as a harsh reality check. And when Indiana had a golden opportunity to steal Game 2 in the final minute, they completely crumbled, like a rookie folding under pressure.
Huge marble.
For the lead, short to follow, she kicks it out to Bonner.
As Caitlin Clark pointed out in the opening clip, a lack of leadership and postseason experience were the biggest reasons Indiana found themselves booking early flights to Cancun. The silver lining, they took that lesson to heart. After making a few key roster moves, the Fever didn't just go from being competitive, they turned themselves into a legitimate powerhouse in just 5 months.
I don't want to say this just to catch a splashy headline, but this Tuesday, February 4th, 2025, I am ready to proclaim the Indiana Fever as your WNBA champs.
That's exactly why we're here today. In this video, we're breaking down Indiana's biggest offseason moves, analyzing how these key signings will mesh with Caitlin Clark and the rest of the squad, and looking at the impact they'll have on the court. And let me tell you, this revamped Fever team just sent a loud message to the entire WNBA. But before we dive into their major acquisitions, let's talk about one of the smartest decisions Indiana made this offseason, keeping Kelsey Mitchell. As one of the team's top scorers last season, she earned herself a well-deserved 1-year Supermax contract. Now, sure, some critics pointed fingers at her after the Fever's early playoff exit, but let's be real, Mitchell was a massive reason they even made it there in the first place. She's a certified walking bucket, a 2-time All-Star, she's finished in the top 10 in WNBA scoring for 5 straight seasons. Just last year, she set a franchise record by dropping 20+ points in 7 consecutive games. Her left-handed game is pure artistry, crafty, unpredictable, and lethal from all angles.
Mitchell on the drive, splits the double team, throws the foul, gets it to go, an acrobatic finish.
Beyond her ability to put up points, her backcourt chemistry with Caitlin Clark was absolutely lethal, like a perfect 1-2 punch. Their styles complement each other effortlessly, fitting together as smoothly as a perfectly timed alley-oop.
Ford did a nice job to recover, and bounces inside, pretty fine.
Now that we've covered retaining Kelsey, let's shift gears and dive into the Fever's biggest free agency splash of the offseason, the signing of Wnba.
Bonner hesitation, wow.
One of Indiana's biggest weaknesses last season was the lack of a true scoring threat on the wing, but with Wnba in the mix, that problem is officially solved. Now, opposing defenses can't just focus on Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. They've got another serious weapon to deal with. Bonner's resume speaks for itself. 2-time WNBA champion, 3-time 6th Woman of the Year, and 6-time All-Star. She's not just bringing experience to the Fever, she's bringing championship-level basketball every single night. But it's not just about her leadership. Bonner is a two-way nightmare. Offensively, she's a walking bucket, ranking 4th all-time in scoring while averaging 15 points per game last season with the Sun. Just look at this. She caught the ball, put Angel Reese on skates with a filthy crossover, and finished smoothly with her left hand. With her size and reach, she can get shots off over defenders with ease. Good luck trying to block her. And on defense, that insane 7 feet 4 inches wingspan does serious damage. She clogs passing lanes, racks up steals, and swats shots like it's nothing. The Fever didn't just add a scorer, they added a game changer on both ends of the floor.
To get her. Egbo had it blocked.
Pairing Wnba with Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark is a nightmare for opposing defenses. The offensive firepower between these three is flat out dangerous. But Bonner was just the beginning. The Fever didn't stop there. Indiana also made a key move by bringing back Natasha Howard, a player they originally drafted in 2014. Howard isn't just a multi-time champion and all-star, she's an incredibly versatile scorer. Last season with the Dallas Wings, she put up nearly 18 points per game, proving she's still a major offensive weapon. weapon. Howard's game is the perfect complement to Indiana's primary ball handlers. She can attack in multiple ways, rolling hard to the basket in pick and roll sets, or stepping out to knock down open threes. But what really makes her special is her elite footwork and polished post moves, making her a tough cover no matter where she is on the floor.
Low again with the saucy moves.
A beast.
A dominant presence in the paint and a dependable floor spacer, Natasha Howard adds another layer to Indiana's offense. With her skill set, the Fever aren't just stacking a three-headed scoring threat, they're unleashing a four-headed monster in their starting lineup. That's a scary sight for the rest of the league. And speaking of major additions, Indiana made another savvy move by signing Sophie Cunningham in free agency. But don't let her looks fool you. This girl is as tough as they come. One of the most relentless competitors in the WNBA, Sophie brings energy, grit, and defensive intensity every time she steps on the court. A true 3-and-D specialist, Cunningham is a sniper from deep. Leave her open and you might as well start jogging back on defense. She's the kind of player who thrives on big moments, and her presence only makes this Fever squad even more dangerous.
Checked in for New York. Pushing Sophie out, she'll take the three and hit.
On the defensive side, Cunningham is a versatile force, capable of guarding positions 1 through 4. Her tenacity is unmatched. She fights through screens, stays glued to her assignment, and makes life miserable for opposing scorers. With their latest signings, the Fever didn't just fill gaps. They reinforced every weakness from last season. And to bring even more experience and leadership to their young core, they added veteran presences like Sydney Colson and Brianna Turner. With Erica Wheeler heading to Seattle, Colson, a 2-time WNBA champion, steps in as a steady floor general who can anchor the backcourt during Caitlin Clark's minutes on the bench. While her stats might not jump off the page, her impact is undeniable. Need proof? Just look at her performance against Dallas last season. 13 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. She does the little things that don't always show up in the box score but are essential to winning. Meanwhile, Brianna Turner is a defensive specialist who provides elite rim protection. A 2-time all-defensive first-team selection, she ranked 2nd in the league in blocks in 2022 and remains a dominant presence in the paint. Pairing her with Aaliyah Boston, that's a nightmare for anyone trying to score inside. Turner also brings relentless energy on the boards, consistently crashing for putbacks and second-chance opportunities. Now, let's do some quick math. The Fever have retained and signed players with a combined 10 All-Star selections and 7 WNBA championships. That's more than enough to bring the playoff experience and leadership Caitlin Clark was calling for. And speaking of the reigning Rookie of the Year, this upgraded Fever squad is about to shake up the entire league, with Clark leading the charge at point. With this level of firepower and depth, deep playoff runs aren't just possible, they're inevitable. And if everything clicks, don't be surprised if this squad runs through the competition and ends the season with a championship banner.